Hello everybody, welcome back. In this video we are going to create a wooden table, and for that I have just choose this material from the cgbookcase.com. This is the place where you can download the materials for free. You will also find some other places as well from where you can download your desired materials, and after downloading the materials you will find this type of maps where you have the base color, and also you will have height maps, normal maps, and metallic maps as well. So for photorealism you can use these maps as well with the node systems in Blender. I will not explain that in this section, and if you want to learn that you can follow my Blender course in my YouTube channel in Sun. And you can find specific video of PBR materials, and you will find that how we can create PBR materials or textures in Blender. So let's create a separate table to use that material, and let's see how we will do that. So for this we can just go to edit mode. We can press SZ to scale it to Z axis, something like this, and we can press SX to scale it to X axis maybe. And now you can see this is the base of our table, and we can just create some loops here. Control R, and I will just create two loops. SX to scale it to X axis to maybe like this, and Control R this side, and SY for the Y-axis scale. Now we can just select these leg section. So I will just select the this section, and I think we can select this node and this node. Sorry, what happened here? With this, if we select this, why this entire loop is selected? So what is the problem? Okay, I don't know what is the problem. So let's delete this cube. For some reason we are facing problem. Shift A, new cube, and now we will just press edit, scale it to Z axis. For some reason we have that mistake. Anyhow, SX to scale it to X axis, and now we can just create loops. SX and loop this side, SY, and now we can select these sections by shift click, and then we can go to front view. We can press EZ to extrude these to Z axis. Okay, and now you can see this is our table. So for this table we want to add texture. So for adding texture we can right away go to UV editing, and here we will select this texture, and we can drag drop this texture here. And now if we press A for the table, you can see it has the default unwrap here, okay, which is just like a box. So that is good, but if we implement that on the material, if we go to this section where we can add the material, and if we click here, and if we add a table material for this table, and we will just split this window to horizontal split, and we can go here and we can go to shader editor, and in shader editor we can just add this image to our color. There it is, and we can just drag drop this here, and now you will see that we will have a nice material on our table by pressing Z and material preview. You can see that we have a nice texture on our table, but this texture is not very much consistent. If you can see here, This leg has texture like this, and this one has different type of texture here. Here we can see another type, and usually you can see it's not very much consistent, and on the top as well it's not very nice. So what we can do, we can just separate the table section. So we can go to this mode, and actually we can select a section here. So for example, if we want to separate the legs, okay, then what we can do, we can select these legs. So select these legs like this, sorry, with shift alt or shift click we can select it, and shift click. Okay, this leg is selected, and then we can select sorry, this leg. Okay, and similarly we can select this leg. Now what will happen, that our legs will be separated from the main body. Okay, and I also want to separate the upper section as well. So definitely for upper section we don't have any selection for these cuts. So for that we will just select the edges right here. So before that, you can see legs are selected. So for making the seam, we will just press Ctrl E and we will press mark seam. So now you can see this area is reddish now. Okay, so seams are created here, and now we also want to separate the upper section from the bottom section. So for that purpose, we can just select these loops. Let's select these loops by control click, control click, control alt click. Okay, and now that are selected, now we'll just press control E and mark seam, and finally we will press A to select everything, U to unwrap, and click on unwrap. Now you can see this type of unwrapping, where you can found this section, and we can select this section, we can move this section here. Okay, and this will be the probably the some base section, I think. Yeah, you can see this base section is separated totally. This section, if we select, sorry, by L, if we select click here and if we press L, it will be selected, and this section will belongs to the upper area, I think. So if we move it, you can see this upper area we can move, and we can add our desired texture. And for these legs, now you can see that these legs are also unwrapped, but you can see these are not very much consistent. If we select this leg, you can see we can move these legs as well, but this is not a very nice method of unwrapping. So for making these legs better, what we can do, we can unwrap the other sections as well. So for these legs, we will select the this section, okay, this one, and the middle edge, okay, and this edge and this edge. 3 edges are fine actually. Okay, and we can leave the middle edge if we want to do so, or we can select this edge as well if we want to do so. So it's up to you. Then similarly, we'll select these edges as well. So we'll select shift click, we can select these edges, and like this. And it will give us better unwrapping possibilities. Okay, and later on, definitely in our practical projects where we will create rickshaws and trucks, etc., you will learn how we can unwrap different type of shapes like rickshaws, vehicles, and how we can add textures on that shapes. Okay, so like this, I think now everything is selected. Okay, so now you can see every leg is selected approximately. We can press Ctrl E and mark seam to mark seams here, and I will press A U unwrap to unwrap everything. And now you can see that we have a lot of sections here for the legs, for everything. So if we select, for example, this section, maybe this section, we can just move it like this. We can select this section. These are actually, I think, the legs. Okay, these are legs which are separated down, and we can just select this. Okay, this one as well. So let's first of all we'll just bring this section out. So this is the top, and this section is belongs to legs. Okay, so now after unwrapping, you can see this type of texturing, which is quite good, and I am happy with this. Although you can just press S to scale it, and you can manipulate these textures as well. So for example, you want this texture to be towards different sides, you can rotate it as well. Okay, and you will get this type of texture, or you can move it to this side, so it's up to you. Okay, and now we will select this one, this texture, which is the, I think, the base of the texture, and we can just scale this texture as well, and we can scale it with these tools as well if we want to do so. Okay, and now we can get this type of texture. On the top, we will select this texture. We can just select it, and we can just move it here, and now you can see the base of the table. We can definitely make it bigger if we want to do so, you can see. And also if you want to rotate texture to other side, we can do so as well. So we can rotate it like this, and now we have this type of texturing. We can rotate it, we can scale it as well. We can scale it with manual scaling like this, and now you can see that we have this type of textures. So that's it. I just want to show that how we can create different type of textures on different shapes and different type of objects, and how we can unwrap the objects properly. I hope you understand the basic concept of texturing and unwrapping in this video, and in next video we are going to add our materials and texture to our robot. Let's meet in next video. Goodbye.